Good morning and welcome to A-1 Vacuum and Sewing's live stream for Thursday, May 8th. You know, the biggest change since Miss Lindsay began and our evenings don't all end at like 11, or at least mine don't all end at like 11 or midnight, has been I know what day it is.
Did you not know what day it was before?
I never knew what day it was. I would like start saying it and then I'd be like looking at the computer and being like, oh, it's Thursday. We did work late last night.
Last night I stayed and then Patrick went to the gym.
Jeannie was in her normal panic mode.
You know, at this point, like, because, anyways, I usually try to give Patrick a long leash. I mean, Patrick gave up his life for a year and just took care of me and the store and the dogs. And, you know, not everyone has that kind of support. Everyone should, but not everyone does. And so I try to just let him do... I don't want to say I enjoy working, but I'm okay with working.
It's her de facto panic mode.
So,
it's like the things you realize after being with somebody for 25 years years of long wedded bliss. And then I'm like, God, like now that I think about it, every time Jeannie's had a job or has worked, she's like, I don't have time.
I do. Because I want to do my best job. And anyways,
and she worries about everything in her control or not.
So I try not to I'm okay working. But the thing that also,
Well, because the other option is sitting around doing nothing.
That is not. What do you mean? That's the other option. I like that.
Because that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so it's like for you, it's like it's not that big of a deal. You're not pursuing anything else. You're like, if I wasn't working right now, I'd just be sitting around doing nothing.
That's not true. I'd be doing something.
You always talk about how much you love sitting around doing nothing.
I do. I love that too. I love that. But so anyways, I try to give him a long leash, but having gone through what I went through, I also now go, when I need help, I'm like ready to ask for it. So last night, I was like, hey, can you come back here after the gym and help me for like an hour? And he was like, yep. And so he came back and we did a little bit more shipping just to make sure things weren't too out of control.
And then how much fun was like hanging out talking to Kai last night? Like just catching up with him.
You remember how exciting it was when your kids started like their first real job? And so Kai's starting his first real job at an engineering place here in town. And he went in for a little bit of an orientation, and he's like, there's some perks here. And he goes, one of the perks is they have a soft serve ice cream machine.
Soft serve ice cream. He loves soft serve.
And that was just like,
cream.
It was so cute. Like, that's the thing that he wanted to talk about was that, and his shirts and his free shirts that, from there, that he was, it's just.
And then we were talking about like kid jobs.
Yes.
And picking
raspberries. And you know what? I never knew. Patrick, he's a storyteller. And I'm a story listener. And I love his stories. And a lot of them I've heard multiple times. But I still love them. I didn't realize we started talking about like food. And like we got these strawberries and they were so delicious. And then I was talking about when I was growing up in Connecticut.
Kai asked.
No, well, I was talking about when I grew up in Connecticut, how we used to go pick strawberries. There was a big strawberry field. And, it's not like you got strawberries anytime during the year. It was only when they were in season. So my mom and I would go. My brothers never wanted to go. Joe might have gone with us. And we would pick, pints of strawberries and how delicious those were too. But you know, they were like smaller, and
Tiny.
sometimes you get a big one, and that was so special. And then Patrick tells us how he asked, I was like, well, could you just pick anything in Connecticut? And I was like, well, you know, we had strawberries. My mom had a garden. You could always go running out and walk through the woods and find blackberries.
Oh, yeah.
And they wouldn't be like, you'd find like a little scraggly bush. And then Patrick tells us how he was a berry picker.
Well, like we had a road cut.
Patrick grew up in
I grew up in the
Pennsylvania.
middle of nowhere.
Central Pennsylvania.
Like I grew up in the middle of nowhere. Like, well, and it's funny because I think Steve is watching. I don't know if Steve is watching, but I was talking about how, and it's funny because I think Steve knew exactly where I was talking about. There was a road cut where they put power lines in through the forest, and on the edge of that road cut, it was probably like, I don't know, Steve, was that road cut a mile long? If you're watching, but it was probably the majority of a mile long. Like there was a farmer's, like there, I grew up, like there was a lot of farmland, and at the edge of a farmer's field, there was a big section of forest, and where the power lines were, the road to access the power lines, right against that road, that whole road was covered with like blackberries and raspberries, and so the kids from my neighborhood and I used to sell them.
He was telling me how he'd pick like bushels and then pedal.
we would go and get orders.
I love that.
Well, that's what you did as a kid. Like
You worked.
you worked.
Yeah.
I
mowed
remember
lawns,
remember you
shoveled.
got like your worker's permit at 13 and you were so excited because you could actually go get a job. And like kids don't work these days, or most kids don't, it seems.
But you know, but like with our kids, it was so, I couldn't imagine them working because they were so busy in high school. Not that there are plenty of kids
there are
that
plenty
did,
of kids that work.
but they were working so hard. Like you know,
Violet could have worked.
Violet could have worked. But Violet did. So anyways, yes, there is a new pope. Excited
we don't know
to
who
see.
it is.
Excited to see that. And Michelle just said there's a Lumi update. So Luminaire update. I don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about the Lumi update? I find out all the important stuff from you guys. You're the ones that let us know. So,
Yeah, it wasn't that hot where I grew up in Pennsylvania, but like it was funny. I was talking about how one day, I can't remember who it was with, and it was funny because my oldest and best friend called me this morning, and we caught up for a while, and I was asking him if he and I ever picked and sold the berries, because that's what we would do, is we'd go get orders and then we'd go get the berries and then we'd bring them home and like wash them and pick out the bad ones, and then we'd sell them in pints and quarts or bushels. And I remember one day like my dad freaking out because he was like, how much money do you have? It was like $200 or something.
do you remember fundraising? I remember selling like posters.
Or World's Best Chocolate. Do you remember that? Did you guys ever
we-
sell World's Best Chocolate bars?
No. But I sold posters with like footprints in the sand, that poem, and like little kittens. And we lived right next to a university, so we would go into the dorms and like, good thing we weren't like abducted. We were like 7. We'd like walk into the dorms and like go into their dorm rooms. Yes. So,
Is it safe to sew on your Avenir? Of course it's safe to sew on your Avenir.
why
would you ever ask that question?
why are you saying
Well,
it like that?
no. I'm wondering what she's heard. Like, I'm not like.
Well, I don't like the way you answered her just then.
No, I'm
Yes.
I'm like seriously like what is
Why
like,
would
are
you ever ask
hearing?
that question? Is how you said it.
Right. But like what is she hearing?
Cheryl,
Like,
ignore him. Mean old man over here. Anyways, as far
I
as
wasn't
I know,
trying
it's
to be mean. I'm like so at a loss as to why.
yeah. What have you
Why
heard?
would
We're
you
not
ask
on
that
all
question?
the boards, so what have you heard? I did so on mine this weekend, and I did have it lock up once. So
You just turned it off and turned it back
Yeah,
on?
I was like, what's going on? And then I just turned it off and back on again, and then it was fine. So
Yeah, I didn't mean for that to sound rude. I'm just I like you may be hearing something that I haven't.
So the last time I tried, it was causing problems for me. Was it locking up? So let me know if that's the issue, because
Or if
I
there's
did
like a specific issue, Cheryl, call me and I'm happy to talk about it. But yeah, it's
But,
totally safe to sew and embroider on these machines.
Yeah, and if there's an issue, we want to know too, because Patrick does talk to Charles.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm sure they hear everything, and I'm sure they're on the boards and they look at everything, but we do not.
Well, but that just caused me concern because like I'm like. I'm like waiting for her to be like, yeah, somebody's caught fire or something. Like, I'm like, what? No, why? Like, why wouldn't it be safe?
Okay. We did want to talk to something important to our new viewers and our
Oh
new
my God,
shoppers.
I forgot about this.
So, Patrick's like, I forgot to share this with you. I used to, when we shipped out package, I used to put a little slip in there that says we reduce, recycle, and what are the R's? Reduce, recycle, and what? Reuse.
All right, we're going to talk about updating as well.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. We really believe in that here at our store. I mean, Patrick and I, like, we're older hippies, and but
we're not real hippies.
Yeah, we're not real hippies, but
we're more yippies.
But we believe in that stuff. Like, every time I throw a plastic bag away, it hurts my heart.
A dolphin dies.
Yeah, it goes into the belly of a whale, and that's what I think every time I throw something like that away.
Or a turtle eats it. And she loves turtles.
I do. I'm the type that when the soda things, I cut every bit of it, like, so that it can't get wrapped around their neck, and then they grow, and then it embeds into their neck. So
every now and then she watches that video of the turtle getting the straw pulled out of its nose and she cries.
I do use a straw once in a while, but most of the time when we go to a restaurant or something, we won't use the straws.
She feels the same way about octopus, but sometimes it just tastes so good.
Oh my God, it does. It does. So we're not 100% perfect, but we do try. And
speak for yourself.
So we reuse everything. Customers know that, and they bring us their bags, and they bring us boxes.
And we have a ton of them right now, so now is not the best time to bring us.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Boxes.
We have a lot because there's a lot of you that
of us.
Reuse, recycle, and repurpose. And so I had I received a box and I opened it and I was like,
and it was just filled with boxes.
Filled with mail. Somebody mailed us all of their bags and stuff to reuse and stuff. So we believe in that. And I used to put a little insert into all the packages explaining that. We don't do that.
Sorry, this is a junky package, but
what's really funny is sometimes I've gotten packages from you guys where I can tell it was sent to you from us, which means it's its third time being reused again. And we go, okay, if we do that, like, how much is not going back into our landfills and the oceans and all the other places? So Patrick was like, hey, I never told you this. And then, because there was something on Google.
Well, so some of you are pretty active on the Google reviews site. And so somebody and I get notified when there's a comment.
Every comment?
They send me an email.
Okay.
And so what's strange is when we have a negative review. And I always try to pay attention to the negative reviews.
So we
like
can
if it's
respond,
if it's less than 3 stars, like I want to see what happens. 90% of the time I'm like, oh, I know exactly who this is. And so it's normally that person I'm like, you need to leave.
Yeah, we do. We're getting older and crankier. And sometimes
I don't want to do business with you.
Yeah, because we have a choice.
But somebody had posted something about ordering something, and while the package arrived very quickly, it was incredibly unprofessional because it arrived in a reused Amazon package. And
I get that. I get that. Like, if you don't know us, and even if you do know us, you might not like that. And I totally understand. But I just
that's
want
how
you
your
to,
packages are going to
yeah,
arrive.
I just want you to understand where we're coming from and like what we believe and like how we that's important to us.
Well, so what was funny though was the A-1 Army.
Yeah.
The A-1 Army showed up, and I was like trying to figure out how to reply, like, because you want to acknowledge like, hey, I get it, but this is kind of what we're trying to do, and like maybe you're that person that loves to throw those boxes away, but we're not, and that's why I didn't respond right away because.
But the A-1 Army
But
did.
the A-1 Army did. And so all of a sudden people were replying to her comment.
Explaining how we are.
But
here
it was
at the
funny
store.
because it was like also somewhat defensive. And then she removed her comment. She removed her review.
We don't even know who it is.
And so, so I was telling Jeannie this, like, A, to be like, hey, we got this negative review. And then B, it was kind of funny because our ladies, like all the mama bears came out like, you don't understand. They're trying to save the world. Like, and then I think there was.
But what if everyone just reused and that was the norm, and like how much less packaging would just get thrown in the trash? And
well, but it was funny because I told her, because I was like, maybe it's been a while, we don't put those notes in, maybe we need to let people know that we do reuse packaging. So all of your boxes,
and not all of them,
like the priority mailers, the flat rate priority mailers are the only things that we use new. And
we have some other bags. If you don't like a used mailer, put in your notes, and I'll put your stuff in a brand new mailer because I do have.
No, don't do that.
Well,
no, don't do that.
They might
Let
not
us
like
reuse because it's better for the world.
It is better for the world.
So
but we wanted to have that conversation with you, like I said, in case you are new and you do an order and you do have it show up in a used container or a second chance container, second chance bag. So we just wanted to take a moment for that.
Well, and then, so the other thing is I was like, maybe at the quilt show, we should make like rainbow style A-1 headbands. We'll have the A-1 Army this year.
We don't have a t-shirt this year. Sorry, we're retired. We'll do something next year. We'll plan ahead. We'll start now. Maybe we'll do a A-1 reuse, reduce, recycle t-shirt.
Yeah, we'll have you wear the same t-shirt.
Yeah, and we'll all wear headbands.
We'll upcycle the t-shirt into an A-1 headband.
It'll be made out of reused Amazon bags. Well, it's going to take us a year to make them, so it's going to take a while. But okay.
So it was funny though. It was like a 2 or 3 day thing. I'm like, oh geez, this person like felt strongly enough to make the review and then felt bad enough that she removed it.
But be kind. Let's all be kind.
Nobody was mean.
Okay, let's all be kind.
But I felt like the A-1 Army showed up on force. And then I was like, I didn't know people were like actively watching these.
Yeah. So, okay, should we talk to Alice?
Oh. So
mention Apple and USBs. I think those are the two issues that people have had.
Apple. If you are on an Apple computer, Apple's Apple. Apple does weird stuff. If you love Apple, that's fine. It works for you. That's great. But like the rest of the world works the way that Windows works. So the way that Apple copies stuff to thumb drives is a little different. And we have had a lot of reports of people struggling to get their updates onto the thumb drive. And then when you put the thumb drive into the machine, it often doesn't recognize the update, the fact that the update's even there. I've now had 3 circumstances where I've either spoken to a customer or I've seen the machine where the machine fails in the update, and then it's stuck in the update screen. So I guess the question for Alice is, are you stuck in the update screen? Like, meaning when you turn the machine on, does it automatically come up with the update? And then
USB and then stuff on it.
And then so it is still recommended that you do the updates via USB. And so
I did mine wirelessly. And it was
people,
fine. But
since 1.06, Brother kind of went, it's okay to do it wirelessly, but you should do it via USB. And so just this past weekend, like I had a customer that called that had that issue, right? The machine was stuck.
Sorry.
The machine was stuck in the update mode. So, and so you are not going to be able to get back to your home screen until you get a properly formatted thumb drive.
And what does that mean, properly formatted, in case some people don't know?
So it depends upon the thumb drive, and that's the thing. I like the SanDisk Cruiser 32 gig thumb drives.
And I'm a 16 gig. I almost always just use 16 gig.
I've never had a problem with them. Brother had recommended the PNY 32 gig hard drives or thumb drives, but like I've used the SanDisk 32 gig Cruiser with no issues, unlike the machines in the store and Genie's machines, etc. The Cruiser thumb drives show up with built-in security on them, so you have to run a full format. Like when you right-click on it, you don't have a thumb drive, do you? Like I just want to see what it says when you format.
Thumb drive, yes.
So when you format the thumb drive, it gives you the option to quick format or to do a full format. On those Cruiser thumb drives, because of the security, God, what is wrong with that thing? Because of the security on the Cruiser thumb drives, I always do a full format, which means that I completely remove. Can I remove whatever's on here?
Where's it on there?
I don't know.
That's not the USB. That's my.
That's.
Oh, it is the US. No, that's Star
USB
Spangled.
drive D.
That's it. You put that on. Yeah, get rid of it. I can put it on again.
So I'm just looking right now. So when you hit format there's a little thing on Windows that says quick format. You want to uncheck that. And quite frankly, if you're doing it on a Windows computer, just leave it as is. It'll automatically do FAT. You shouldn't change that. I haven't heard from Brother at all that they want the update done via Wi-Fi. Quite the opposite is what I've been told. So, but you're stuck in the update screen, so you have to do it via USB. So uncheck quick format and hit start. The quick format takes, a handful of seconds, maybe a minute. The long format takes a much longer time, but it removes all of the kind of prepackaged stuff from the thumb drive before you use it. And then you copy the update to that drive. And Alice, for you, what I would tell you is don't turn on into the update screen and then put the USB in with the machine off. Put the USB in, hit the needle threader button and turn the machine on, and hold the needle threader button until it opens to the update screen. You will know if it's reading the update screen if it shows you the update in the little box there, and then just run the update, load the update and run it that way. The customer that I was talking to, it does make a difference, Faye. But like I said, if you're doing it on a Windows computer, it defaults just to FAT, and that's how you should be doing it. FA32 carries some baggage because it limits file sizes, and you don't want to do that. And NTFS is like an Apple format, and that's not how you want to do it. And if you're doing it on an Apple computer, good luck, because like I said, like people have had issues with the way that it formats. So choose FAT if you're on an Apple computer. If, and I've seen this before once too, I had one that had failed during the update, got locked in the screen, and it would not recognize that update anymore. And then I downgraded the update. Like I had it saved on my computer, and so it was like 1.06, and I downgraded it to 1.05. It recognized that immediately and then ran it, and then I was able to update it to 1.06. But that's what happened, is there was a corruption in the update, and the update failed. The customer this weekend, I think she told me she tried 3 sticks before she found one that the machine would read, but she was using kind of no-name cheapy sticks that she had gotten on Amazon. And that is how we fixed it. Alice, if you can't get 1.07 to read, I can send you a drive folder with 1.06, and you can try downgrading it to 1.06. Jeannie uses whatever thumb drives are in front of her. I use those SanDisk Cruiser 32 gig thumb drives because they're fast. They're like a higher rated standard USB, and they read really quickly. But like I said, they do come with security on them. So what you have to do is that full format first. So hopefully that helps you, Alice. I haven't had a machine that like had to have warranty stuff done on it. I've always been able to get it out of that screen either by running the update via USB or changing the update to like downgrading the update. So Will you ask Jeannie if there's anything else we need? Lori, will you ask Jeannie if there's anything else we need to talk about?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot more to talk about. Lindsay, you want to talk? Oh, wait, sure.
Here, I'm gonna get going then.
And I need Miss Michelle.
Come on over.
Okay.
We're talking about your
We're
class.
talking about the knit PJ set that we're doing a class on.
Have they met you before? Have you done like a little
I've done
intro?
this once before.
Oh, okay. Perfect. This
A
is
while
Lindsay.
ago. Hi, guys.
She's been shipping all your stuff and working with Jeannie for a couple weeks now, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
Great addition to the team.
And so we're getting ready to do, I think it's May 20, I'm not exactly sure the date. I think it's the last week of May, maybe on Wednesday. We're doing a knit PJ set. It's going to be a little pair of pajama shorts and then a matching raglan top. I think we're going to sew the top in actually in a short sleeve version since it's later in the season than we anticipated getting the class up. And it's 2 different patterns. The short pattern is a free download. And the listing has all the information. The top is, I'm not exactly sure the price. It's less than $10. And so we'll be doing a serger class.
Is
knit
this the
serging.
toddler child spring pajama set?
Yes.
It's May 28th.
May 28th at
May
10.
28th from 10 to 1.
Yep. And so we'll just be doing a little PJ set. It's youth sizes from 6 months to 14. And it should be a quick and easy kind of fun knit class. You'll need a serger, and then for your hems, you can either use a regular sewing machine or a cover stitch if you have that option on your machine.
And is this kitted?
It's not kitted. There is a link to my Etsy shop where you can get the double brushed poly fabric, the solid white, and the prints. And in the listing, it'll have the fabric requirements, how much white you need for what sizes, and how much of a print you need per size.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. So that's
And they need a 4-thread serger.
yes, just the basic 4-thread.
Basic 4-thread serger. And which stitches do they need to be familiar with using? Or are you gonna teach those
We're
as
just
you
doing
go?
the basic 4-thread overlock to serge. It's the one that I use it on everything.
Okay.
I don't know which one it is.
So basic 4-thread
Yeah.
overlock. All right, perfect.
Awesome. So that class is up for the 28th.
May 28th. And how many people are?
It's 15.
15?
15.
Are all 15 spots right now?
Yes. I think
Okay.
we just put it up yesterday or the day
Okay,
before.
so it just went up yesterday, and all 15 spots, at least that we are aware of, are open currently. Great project as far as learning how to use your serger, and what kid doesn't like new pajamas? Hey, Jeannie, what are we doing?
Michelle's up next.
Oh, okay, patch class.
Yeah, a bunch of different things. Hello, everybody. Can I tell you how much I love you that you actually found the class before I was done with the listing? So if you signed up for this patch class, which is going to come up on Thursday. What day is that? I'm sorry, I have the dates for everything else, but not that one. Anyway, this is the Patches with Art Spira class. So you have to have a Brother wireless embroidery machine for this.
May 27th.
May 27th. And also you would need to have Art Spira already set up on your device that you're going to use. But these patches, they're so cute. Whoop, this way. These were free designs in Art Spira. So Art Spira has 500 free designs. And what we're going to do is we're going to make that design a patch. Using a couple of different methods that are in your embroidery machine. One of them is some of your machines have an icon that looks like a shield, and that automatically makes it a patch. And some of the machines that don't have that, it's fine. All of the machines have the shapes patterns in them, and that way you can always do a round patch. It's backwards, so I'm like, on a good day, forwards is a struggle. But this one is, oh, I had the date right there. Look at that. So I opened this up for 20 people. We're going to sew 2 patches in class. There is a kit available if you don't have a lot of patch supplies. there is also something really cool. So I use Poly Patch Tool a lot for patches. That's a Dime product. We carry it in the store. It comes in 3 colorways. And Dime released a matching thread set for each of those 3 colorways of the Poly Patch Tool, which I thought was great because then you can have the satin stitch. The satin stitch is the only, on the outside outline, is the only part of the project that I usually will match the top thread and the bobbin thread. So it gives you, an arsenal of thread that matches those colors. All right. So also coming up
and
is
that works on any wireless
brother machine.
So
I can
from
do
the
this.
Skitch
I can
to
do this
the,
on my Skitch.
Okay, from the Skitch to
It just has
it
to
would
be
work
brother.
on the multi needles too.
It does. If it's wireless, it does. Yeah.
But,
So if you have a
but
multi-needle,
what
you're
machine
welcome.
are you gonna be on?
I'm gonna do it here, so I guess it depends on whatever's available.
Stellaire or
Yeah, I'm
Avenir
gonna
or
probably
something.
the Avenir, and then I asked Jeannie. I think I'm gonna take the 3750 back there with me too. So
Okay.
we have 2 different variations of machines, so that I can also show for the people that don't have the Shield. I want to be able to show them how to do these in the with the just the built-in.
And
shape.
this is via Zoom.
Yes.
So it's online. It's not going to be a YouTube. So if you didn't want to be in person and wanted to watch the video, you still need to sign up for the class.
You still need to sign up for the class, yes. So the other thing that I have posted beginning on Monday, September the 8th, is another round of my Software 101 for Newbies class. This is software is PE Design or Palette 11 software. It is 10 2-hour sessions with a support Facebook group that I monitor. It'll be recorded on Zoom, so if you can't, make a session, you're still good. Each session will give you homework, so that the idea is that I want you to learn how to use your software, not learn how to just make one project and then forget how to use your software. So each session will build on the previous session, and you'll have homework in between. And then you'll have me to help you, grow your skills in that area. The only thing I do require for my software classes, and it's not just this one, it's anything that's software, is you got to have a Facebook group, because that's the easiest way for me to critique everybody's work. It's a private group. I don't care if you name yourself Bozo the Clown for, for safety reasons. Just let me know that you're Bozo, and it's a private Facebook group. Nobody can find it or get in it, but it makes it nice because you have a collective group that you can bounce ideas off of. And some of the groups, I can tell you that a lot of those people grew in their software because they had others that were in the same place with their software as they were, and they could bounce ideas off of them. And I continue to monitor the software groups on Facebook forever and ever, amen, as long as the Facebook group is still there. And a private group, recordings do not get deleted out of a private Facebook group. I don't do Facebook Live, I record. So that's a difference if you're concerned about that. The next thing is I have a Scan and Cut class coming up in the store on Tuesday, May the 20th from 10:30.
So when you're saying in the store via Zoom.
Via Zoom, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the store
Okay.
calendar. Sorry.
Okay.
Switching gears from the PE designs are usually the software ones are usually on my calendar.
And when does the software class?
Software starts September the 8th.
Okay. Perfect.
And part of it is nobody really wants to take classes in the summertime. The other thing I did forget to mention is this is probably going to be the last live Zoom round of the PE design class. I can't wait to get started on some BES Silver and also simply applique classes, along with, for those of you that were involved in our little software demo for the In the Hoop software from Dime. I love it. I love it. I'm so in love with that software. So I want to be able to do a few projects with that as well, although nothing is in the pipeline yet. What is in the pipeline, and it's is all of you that took the Software 101 class before. I'm so sorry. I'm finally getting around to some advanced software or different types of software classes. So for those of you that took my Software 101 PE Designer Palette class previously, you turned in all of your homework and your final assignments. I have a wonderful patch class coming up for you guys too. So I do a ton of stuff in patches, and I don't only do them one way. I do them several ways. So like this one's got a raw edge on it through here. This one wasn't a patch at all. It was just an embroidery design, stone out on a stiffer type of stabilizer so that I could just cut around the edges and make it a patch. This is like a totally floppy patch if you want, like for kids, and you want to wash it. You know, it doesn't, that way they don't put the shirt on and it stands out from their chest because of the stiffness of your stabilizer. This is just regular embroidery designs that I just brought into, I just created the patch background for the designs to sew on and created my own patch, but it's also done on a much lighter weight. And then, you know, just, I do patches a ton of different ways. So if you want to know all of my little secrets on doing patches, and also some people seem to think patches can only be like 2 or 3, maybe 4 inches. I have some split designs that I've done for the front of a zippy hoodie that I've done as a patch. Why is this kind of cool? Because it doesn't really matter what size hoodie you have. You don't have to wrangle all of that hoodie fabric around either a flatbed machine or even, you know, trying to hang on to it on a multi-needle machine. Just do the patch, fuse it, or do the patch and stitch it on. You know, free stitch it, or, you know, you have so many choices. So that one's going to come up. I haven't listed it yet. I hope to get it listed up today. Again, you have to have taken the Software 101. You had to have finished your homework and turned it in, please, because I'm not going to go over everything from the very beginning. This patch class is going to be 2 sessions. I'm going to make you a little, it doesn't really require a kit per se, because I'm going to show you a lot of different things you can use. I will be using Poly Patch Twill and Patch Attach in that class. Patch Attach is one of my favorite fusibles, but you can also, I'm going to also show you some other stuff. Like a lot of it, some of mine, like this was just an embroidery design. There's nothing in there. There's no twill or anything in there. What's in there is a simple piece of silk organza to hold the stitches together, because it's not freestanding lace, and then it just kind of melds into whatever shirt or wherever you want to put it on. So it's really soft and flexible, and the organza allows you to run it through the wash.
So I think we got, Cheryl's asking when is B Silver here. I think it may be here. We got a box from Brother yesterday.
And truly, that's kind of why I've been holding off. One reason is I wanted to do PE design one more time, and the other one is not everybody has their software yet, so I didn't want to leave anybody out on that.
So I think we got it. We just haven't gotten through the box yet. So
okay.
So if you've been waiting, like that doesn't mean call us like right now. As soon as the live stream's done, give us a day to get through the box.
Okay, so the software patches and software class, the software with PE Design or Palette Software version 11, is going to be 2 sessions, 2 2-hour sessions. So it's going to be June 9th and 16th.
And
Those
so
are
these
Mondays.
are separate classes,
These are separate,
right?
yeah. This is separate,
It's
different.
either the 9th or the 16th.
No. This is 2 sessions.
Oh, two
2
sessions.
sessions.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff I do with patches.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I'm just going to make it all
So
inclusive.
it's a 4-hour class.
It's
with
4
a
hours.
Week break between.
There's 2 hours each session. And that is going to be on Monday, June 9th and Monday, June 16th. Again, I don't have it up yet, but really, if I need to run more than one session, I'll run more than one session. Please, nobody shop in panic mode. It's okay. You'll get it regardless. And for those of you who are like, well, where's my patch? I don't have Artspira. I don't have that. I don't have software. Where's mine? It's coming. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to have some kind of a patch class. And then the last thing I want to pitch is our round robin that's coming up. So our round robin was we had the opportunity to do this, Jeannie and I did, because we still had, we had a single multi-needle, which is the Pro 1X. We had a 6 needle, which is the 680W, Entrepreneur 680W. And then we have the 10 needle. And mostly you always just see the 10 needle in the store. We don't always have all of them in the store. So this gives those of you that do not already have a multi-needle the opportunity to come hang with us for about an hour and a half or so and do projects on all 3 machines, just to see how that fits in your life. And so here are the pictures, or here are the projects. So for one thing, we're going to do a cap. You can do mom or dad. It is 3D puff foam. So if you're wondering how 3D puff foam works, here's how it works. We're going to be doing this on the 6 needle. Jeannie got us some super, super, super cute, colorful tote bags for the 10 needle, and we're going to be doing a technique. I'm sorry, I didn't have the bags when I did the sample. A technique that allows you to use heat transfer vinyl for your applique, so there's no trimming. You just do your applique and then you tear it off. And I created a special design, alphabet design in PE design for this class, which has a satin stitch and a bean stitch around the edge, and you'll be doing that on a tote bag. And then we got this really very cool Durkee hoop that's called the name frame. We're going to be doing little key fobs that you'll be doing on the single needle machine. But you could also do like dog collars. You could do leashes.
Dog leashes.
Leashes. You can even do handbag straps. I mean, you have, their webbing comes in all different sizes. This is a great way to embellish your webbing that you might use for a purse handle as well. So those are coming up starting actually this weekend. So Friday.
So it starts tomorrow.
Friday from 11 to 12:30, there's a couple spots left. Friday from 1 to 2:30, there's a couple of spots left. Saturday 1 to 2:30, there's a couple of spots left. So you don't have to have, we really don't want you to already be an owner. You can be an owner, but you know, the idea is that it's to allow folks that have
looked at them and gone, what are these things?
Yeah.
Or where do they fit in my life? Or why would I want one?
Yeah, so there's, and then for owners, for current owners that just want to do all the projects and see how the projects have done, there's a separate session for you, and that's on Thursday, May the 22nd from 11 to 1 p.m. So don't feel like you get left out. We just want the newbies that have never been around it to have a great opportunity to not feel stressed and not feel like everybody else knows what they're doing and I have no idea what I'm doing. And just touchy-feely and pet the puppy, as Jeannie calls it, on the different multi-needles. And if you already have one and you're like, oh, I want to do the projects too, for you, we have a session set up for Thursday the 22nd from 11 to 1 p.m. Now, these are actually in-store. We're not recording them. They're not on Zoom. These are in-store classes.
Like for our local ladies.
Yeah, for our local ladies. Do you need to bring anything? No, just you.
And then, did you answer Carol's question about the brother machines? For the patch class. So the Artspira class requires a brother machine.
Yes, Artspira only works on a brother machine. So
software, it would require the software, either the Palette 11 or PE Design
which
11.
is why I threw the patch class and software on about the same time, because there is no way to make Artspira work on a non-brother wireless machine. So it does kind of leave some of you in the dark. However, if you have software, if you took the software class, I've got a patch class up for you. And for the other ones that fall in between those two, I will have a patch class coming up. I just haven't finished the details on it yet. So everybody will get to do a patch class. Next week I should have some fun samples that I can bring in, especially the hoodies with the split designs.
So, Susan, the label's done, but it's being picked up. I think I put it out last night. So it may not have gotten picked up yet, but I'll look. It either went out yesterday or it's being picked up today. And is the patch kit up online to order from
It is. So it is. It was always online. It just wasn't linked to the description because I didn't know that Jeannie was going to talk about it. And I hadn't finished it before I left. But now the patch kit, the poly patch twill, the patch attach, and the dime coordinating thread kits are all linked to the listing that you signed up for. Cindy, it is for any brother wireless machine, any flat, skitch with no screen, multi-needle, single needle, doesn't matter.
But it's got to be wireless.
It has to be a brother wireless machine.
So, and then for BS Silver folks, give us a day or so. Oh, okay. So the sew-along, which sew-along is it?
Flourishing earrings, the lace earrings.
It's the lace earrings. Is going to start in 10 minutes, so I got a boogie, so I can go set that up and go ahead.
Can I still answer?
Bye.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and answer what I can here. Leslie, yeah, you can still sign up because the patches in Art with Art Spirit is a recorded class. So if you don't have it right away, that's fine. We are not going to be making name tags in the patch class, but I have a class halfway done for that one in software. You could, I think I've done a patches with the name thing before, but if that's something that you would like, send me an email because I won't be able to see these chats after we're done. If this is in person, I don't know. Our plan was really not to record all of the different projects on it. I did some snippets, and the snippets were already are already on the sew along page. I'm not sure what you're talking about is on the calendar. If you're asking about the supplemental patch class, my patch class in software, no, it's not yet. So Leslie, when you sign up for a class, I only have a couple of classes anymore that I really like to have a Facebook group for because it really is kind of a pain in the rear. But I put the link to the Facebook group in the supply list after you've signed up for the class. Yes, I didn't see you in the Facebook. Did I don't know. Did I approve you, Sanella? And you're right. It's only May, so I won't be posting a lot in there till probably like August. You have to have PE design or palette software to take my software classes right now. I don't speak Embrilliance. I don't speak Floriani. I don't speak a lot of them. I do speak a lot of them, but those aren't one of them if that you're asking. Yes, Brother Machines only doesn't work on Solaris, correct. No, you don't need to bring anything, Michelle. We have everything here for you. The patch kit is online. It's so you can look up Artspira, patches in Artspira, and then class kit, and it should come up. If not, call the store. But I think I got it up. I did put up this is another get to know your scan and cut class because we sold a lot of scan and cuts. So that's why you see this one a lot, because as we sell them, people don't already know how to use them. So we usually put that one up a lot. Yay! Great. We're going to have fun, Cindy. Do you know what color? So, Betty, there are kits to go with this class. This is one of those random things. There is no specific color because you can pick from a number of different designs that are on Artspira that are free. So we did put some kits together. They are magically mysterious. Each kit has 2 different colors of poly patch twill and everything else that you need to create 2 patches. Poly patch twill is not Badge Master. It is not patch attach. Poly patch twill is the twill fabric that actually kind of feels almost like paper on the back that you can stitch on. And then Badge Master is a washable stabilizer, but it's really a very thick film that the actual benefit of Badge Master is if you're doing something that has a satin stitch around the outside, it doesn't perforate. It doesn't matter. I mean, on my patches, sometimes I do an uber thick satin stitch and then do a bean stitch over the top of it. So there's a lot of stitching going on. And it still doesn't perforate until you perforate it. So, and then, so poly patch twill is a substrate, call it your fabric. Badge Master is part of your stabilization, and patch attach is what you fuse it onto what you're going to fuse it to. Before the June class, if you want to go back and do it, Michelle, you should have time. But I mean, it's only May. I mean, you have. Okay, I'm okay. I won't see these though after they end. Yes, the kits are able to order. The earring class, should they already have it? YouTube, not the chats, or just the comments on? It's just okay. All right. Doug Love, it is a sew along on YouTube for the earrings.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
a-
so
just
we're
go to the
gonna log-
YouTube channel.
We're gonna log off, and then Karen will come on. So you'll just stay right here.
Gotta go.
All right. We'll see you later.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.